Hello and welcome to another Smaulgld live stream. It is Monday, the 17th of June, 2019, and tonight's topic, Facebook's SpyCoin hits Snag. There's been a lot of talk about Facebook coming out with a supposed cryptocurrency. We're going to talk about what it is, who likes it, what the impact of it might be on Bitcoin and the entire crypto space, some competition issues, some regulatory issues, and then we've got a couple of polls to look at about what people are thinking about this particular coin. Just quickly, the cryptocurrencies today were up. They were up over the weekend, and some suspect, and we're going to get into this, that it has to do with the Facebook coin, that somehow Facebook is going to act as somewhat of a gateway drug or a gateway to bringing people on board to crypto, and that's going to spill over into into Bitcoin. I don't agree with that. We're going to talk about that in a sec. But the Bitcoin was the big winner. Bitcoin right now is at $9,380. That's the highest it's been since, I think, over a year, maybe 16, 17 months. And it's really moving up. And the other currencies are not. Litecoin already made its move. Litecoin's been hanging around in the 130s after peaking at around 140, 141. Right now it's at 135.28. Ethereum is near its recent highs at about 275. So we are seeing the altcoins moving, but not as much as Bitcoin. The altcoins, especially Litecoin, led, I would say, the cryptocurrencies out of crypto winter and into crypto spring. But it looks like Facebook, the Bitcoin is leading into crypto summer. All right, so what is this Facebook coin? Now, I believe that the last few days, the reason for the rise in Facebook, again, I keep saying Facebook instead of Bitcoin, the reason for the rise in Bitcoin has nothing to do with Facebook. I think it has to do with the recent announcement by Binance, the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, coming out and saying that they would no longer have certain access to Americans would no longer have certain access to certain tokens because they're not registered, and therefore they're going to ring fence or block Americans. We did a show on this a couple of nights ago, block Americans from the platform and create a different platform just for Americans. Well, the Americans are going to have lesser choices. They're not going to be able to invest in all of these tokens. They're only going to be able to invest in the ones that have already either have been deemed not to be securities, like Bitcoin and Litecoin and Ethereum, and therefore don't need to be registered under the Securities Act, and they won't be able to invest in other tokens. I think a lot of token sales have happened, and they've moved it into Bitcoin. It's the biggest and largest and safest coin, if you can consider there being safety in any cryptocurrency. But I think that's what happened. That's just my guess. But some are saying that has something to do with Facebook coin. I don't think so. That coin is not imminent. They've been talking about it back and forth. I call it SpyCoin, and it's pretty simple. We know that Facebook accumulates a lot of data on its people. Its privacy policies they've had issues with, and now this coin would allow Facebook to unveil their own cryptocurrency. But unlike Bitcoin, which has some degree of anonymity, it would have none. They would link it and store your data and your social media profile, connect it with your spending profile. And of course, if it is a centralized, it's trying to mimic a decentralized cryptocurrency by allowing certain miners, I suppose, or companies to operate nodes for $10 million. I just don't know how many of those nodes are going to be able to set up at $10 million a pop, and why anyone would want to do it. I suppose there's some transaction fee you get out of it, but they could also shut you off. They can see what you're buying. They can see what you're doing. As we know, people have been booted from Facebook for their offline activities. This just gives Facebook more insight into your activities. Spending activities are, you could put together a profile for somebody just on their social media or just on their spending patterns. Well, put the two together and they have even more information. I'm not sure why anyone would want this coin, but that's what it looks like it's going to be. But let's get into more of what it's supposed to be and the stuff that's come out about it. Now, a lot of times, we heard the alternative financial media. They went on and on and on about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies being the mark of the beast. One thing they kept saying was that the cryptocurrencies were the mark of the beast, they were evil, and that they were going to be forced upon us where they would track and trace everything. Not quite understanding that Bitcoin, and especially privacy coins, no one forces you to use them. They're not widely accepted anywhere. They're not being pushed by any government or any large corporation. And B, privacy coins, you really can't track. So the mark of the beast refers to, if you're Christian and you read the last book of the Bible, it talks about a currency that it doesn't talk about a currency. It talks about you have a mark on your head or on your hand where you, in order to transact, you must have that mark. And that is the mark of the beast. Okay. And they've tried to say that that's Bitcoin. I don't see the analogy. And then the other analogy, or the other projection they've been making about, since 1988, there was an Economist cover that said, looks similar to what you're looking at, a picture of the Phoenix. I don't have the exact picture. Was that there was going to be a global currency in 30 years by 2018. Well, 2018 came and went. Well, they were saying, well, it's Bitcoin. Other people saying it was going to be an SDR. I actually think if you want to engage in this alternative financial media kind of conspiracy stuff, you could make the argument, not that Bitcoin is the global currency as predicted by the Economist cover, not that Bitcoin is the mark of the beast, the currency you must have in order to transact. One could argue that the coming Facebook coin actually is the global currency. Indeed, the Facebook is calling its proposed currency global coin, and it's called Project Libra, which is going to produce global coin. Now, there you go. Global coin, global currency in 30 years, if you want to make that argument, the Economist prediction. And this is far more insidious than Bitcoin because it actually does have the idea that you would be global with this coin. It would track and trace everything you did. And they're talking about bringing on the world's largest partners, Visa, MasterCard, Uber, companies that, a lot of people, millions and billions of people use Uber. Well, it could be that Uber, in order to get in an Uber, you must use the Facebook coin and so on and so on. You could see how it would go out from there, how the large companies would require Facebook coin. This might be the vision that Facebook would want. This way, globally, they can track all transactions. All large companies would require you to use it. Well, then you can make your argument for the mark of the beast. Bitcoin is outside of that system. Bitcoin is voluntary. Bitcoin doesn't have partnerships with large corporations. And this is, 30 years later, a global coin. And that's what they're calling it, a global coin. What will it be? Well, it's not, again, a lot of people who said that the global currency would not be the dollar. Obviously, it'd be a world currency. I mean, the dollar is, in a sense, a world currency. And people thought, well, maybe it'll be something akin to an SDR, a basket of currencies. Well, because this global coin from Facebook, which I call SpyCoin, will be global, it's not going to be like other stable coins based on the value of the dollar. It's going to be based on, according to reports, a basket of currencies, just like an SDR. So you can see how this really is, in a sense, fulfilling that prophecy, if you wanted to go there, of a global coin. I call it SDR coin. I have a number of nicknames. We took a poll on what's some of the better nicknames. But as I mentioned, there was this concept. If anyone knows anything about Bitcoin, it's a decentralized system. There's a lot of nodes. There's a lot of miners. And there's not one owner of the enterprise. There's not one company that directs all the activity, not one company that can see everything. Everyone can see everything on the blockchain. Everyone can see what's going on, but no one can go in and start fiddling with the blockchain. No one can change the transactions. I mean, a 51% of tax, but that's getting very expensive right now for Bitcoin. And the way Facebook would work, and actually Nouriel Roubini, who generally doesn't make sensible comments on Bitcoin, made a very sensible comment. He said, this isn't a cryptocurrency. And he's right. You're going to have these artificially centered, it's not blockchain, these nodes. Facebook reportedly charged nodes $10 million to run global coin. It's really it's just a top-down centralized currency that Facebook is issuing as opposed and based on a basket of currencies rather than something like Bitcoin. So Roubini is correct there that this is not really a cryptocurrency, and they might use cryptography. This thing has issues. It could get hacked. I mean, it seems to be very centralized. I'm sure they're not going to have thousands of nodes at 10 million. Now, they might one day if this thing does take off, and that really would be your global coin nightmare if it was a global coin and it was the currency that everybody used at all the large corporations, and you had to use it in order to transact. Well, then you could say your economist cover and your Mark of the Beast prophecies had come true. Now, who actually likes this thing? What's interesting is, first of all, you have Bitcoin haters. They just hate Bitcoin no matter what. And they are cheering on this Facebook global coin, this Facebook SpyCoin, simply because they hate Bitcoin. And it's the same reason that no matter what China does, they like gold, so they can do no wrong. It's the same thing here. And I've seen Peter Schiff, he's talking about it as if this is some type of new revelation, not from the book of Revelations, but that somehow this is some special thing that Facebook is going to have this coin. And we already have stable coins, Coinbase, Gemini, Circle, and they're based on the US dollar. And in fact, the Coinbase one you can use as part of your Visa card. You can spend the stable coin after you transact. JP Morgan will have a stable coin. There's nothing special about a stable coin other than it is a different iteration of a fiat currency, only it's based on a fiat currency, supposedly backed by a fiat currency, but it's issued in digital token form. That's all it is. It's nothing revolutionary. It's just a way of a different representation of fiat currencies. And I call it essentially, SpyCoin is essentially a digital SDR. But Peter goes one step further, and he actually, because he hates Bitcoin, or supposedly hates Bitcoin, so that's his shtick, I think. There's stories from the guy Tucker saying, there's an interview, I've given you the link for this a couple of weeks ago, that after a debate he had with Peter Schiff, Tucker said, Jeffrey Tucker from the Mises Institute said, Peter Schiff has a basket of cryptocurrencies. I guess his way of selling gold is to be against cryptocurrencies. But someone was talking about the differences between Bitcoin and this proposed global coin, this Facebook coin. And here's what Peter said. Not when one restaurant serves delicious food at low prices, meaning Libra, meaning global coin, Facebook, while the other serves overpriced food that makes you sick to your stomach, Bitcoin. The only people who would visit the Bitcoin restaurant are those who don't actually want to eat, store of value buyers. I mean, to call SpyCoin delicious food, I mean, it really gotten to the point where no matter what you say about Bitcoin, no matter if someone's against it, then he's for them. Doesn't matter that Facebook might be entirely... I mean, if the coin is such, not only are they tracking and tracing you, but one of the other problems they can do is they can decide just to shut you off. I mean, that's one of the dangers. I talked about this 4 or 5 years ago in the dangers or the dark side of a cashless society. While cashless society is convenient, that's nice. But if there's a central issuer, they can just shut you off your money. And then how are you going to transact? Well, now you got your Mark of the Beast issue again. There's an authority, a central authority. Could be evil, could be malevolent, doesn't matter. They can shut you off from your money, so to speak. And if that is the only money you can use to transact, well, then you're kind of hosed. So to characterize Facebook coin as delicious food, I think you're going a bit far. You're just wanting to trash Bitcoin, I guess, to keep the narrative alive. Bitcoin's no good. I mean, all the Rabini, same thing. He's had so many failed predictions on Bitcoin. Peter Schiff's been saying Bitcoin's going down ever since it's been $200, $300. They don't want to give it up. And even if Facebook, SpyCoin, Facebook, Global Coin, Project Libra, whatever you want to call it, is a horrific violation of human rights, they're still going to say it's better than Bitcoin. They've just dug in their heels so much. So those are people who are for Facebook coin. Delicious food. And as I said, I think it is SpyCoin. And here's who their backers are. They got Uber, PayPal, and Visa supposedly lined up, and others to invest $10 million. I guess each of those companies will probably want to run these nodes. But we're not quite sure what's happening. But someone at, I think it's CoinDesk, managed to talk to some people working on this, and they've gotten some information which I'm going to share with you. But there's one other. There are people in the Bitcoin community that are actually for this too. But the people that are against it, like Schiff, they're now hoping and predicting. Well, they used to hope and predict that government's going to shut down crypto. Now they realize that's probably not going to happen. So they've shifted their hopes into Facebook. Facebook's going to crush Bitcoin. JP Morgan's going to crush Bitcoin. So now they're cheering on these larger entities because I know the government's not going to do it. And I'm not sure why they would prefer Facebook or JP Morgan coin any more than Bitcoin, other than they started out hating Bitcoin. I mean, if, let's say, Facebook coin takes off and everybody uses SpyCoin, I don't know how that helps gold. It really doesn't. But anyway, they're no longer predicting these governments to shut down cryptos. They're just hoping on JP Morgan and Facebook to do the business for them. All right. Now, this impact on Bitcoin. There are people who not only suggest that the recent price rise of Bitcoin is related to Facebook coin plans, they actually think it's a good thing. That's a good thing. They think, great, this legitimizes the whole crypto space. As I mentioned at the top of the hour, this is a gateway into crypto. And I guess as a bad example, I mean, if you really are paying attention and you said to yourself, okay, so they're going to allow private currencies. That's a good thing. Which one would I want? Well, some people would say I'd want something that's stable. I'd want something that reflects the dollar, if that's stable, or a basket of currencies. Then the question is, which issuer would you want to give your fiat dollars so you can get, even if you wanted to do this, or let's say you had to do it, token? And you'd have a choice. Would you pick Facebook? Would you pick JP Morgan? Would you pick Coinbase? Would you pick Circle? Would you pick Gemini? Would you pick Binance? Would you pick Tether? And I would imagine if you needed a stable coin, you might not want to pick Facebook just because they already have a lot of data. And we already know that they're in the business of censoring people if they don't like them. Whereas a issuer of a stable coin that only issues stable coins, maybe they'd be less inclined to cut you off. Now, I would say I probably wouldn't be interested in a stable coin. And that's when people would start looking around and say, is there another coin I can transact in that maybe isn't stable, but maybe has some upside potential? Maybe it goes down, but then maybe I can use it as a, quote, digital store of value, and then also spend it when I feel like it. And that might be one of the other cryptocurrencies, or one of the other Ethereum, Monero, Zcash, Bitcoin, Litecoin. We're going to get to Ripple in a minute. But some people are in the crypto space actually think this is a good thing. But I actually don't. I don't think it helps Bitcoin, other than maybe you could say by a bad example. But I think for the most part, most people aren't going to put two and two together. They're just going to say, oh, I can use this. Yeah, give it to me. I'll take my coin, and they'll ban people here and there, but they're not going to ban 20, 30% of people. They'll do the same thing they do on Facebook. They ban a few thousand out of a couple of billion, and most people won't notice, won't care. But I would think that That is clearly, in my mind, a risk of Facebook coin. Let's see, what else do we have? Who else is in favor of this? Let's see, what's the impact on Bitcoin? Yeah, so Bloomberg is saying, this was today, Bitcoin climbs above 9,000 as Facebook report buoys sentiment. I don't know. I mean, Facebook SpyCoin plans, I'm not sure that gets Bitcoin people excited. I think this is being driven by institutions. I think this is, as I said nearly 2 years ago, that Wall Street institutions would move in onto this space, and that's exactly what they seem to be doing, and I think that's what boosting the Bitcoin price. I don't think people... I think the Facebook coin is indicative of the interest in this space in general, but I don't think it's driving the Bitcoin price primarily. Now, there are people here that are promoting this. This got retweeted by a lot of people that promote Bitcoin. This headline from Bloomberg: Facebook's Libra cryptocurrency could potentially reach 2.6 billion users. So again, the Bitcoin promoters are looking at this and saying, this is good promotion. We can piggyback off of this. You know, they're going to Facebook out there to 2.6 billion people, and there's going to be some spillover effect into Bitcoin. Possibly. What else here? Facebook coin. Yeah, and here's another one. There's a story. This is a former Wall Street executive says Facebook crypto push would boost Bitcoin. So there is a camp. I don't know what percentage of people think that this is good for Bitcoin or if it's bad for Bitcoin. We've got a couple of polls we're going to take a look at. All right, let's see what else we got on. So today we heard one of the issues was that people thought that the Facebook coin, while it might be good for Bitcoin, would not be good for Ripple, because Ripple is a more centralized type of token and it's used for international payments, and the idea is that it would be like a banker coin, and people were thinking that Facebook coin might render Ripple obsolete. Well, Ripple announced today, it looks like they're striking back. They put $50 million in MoneyGram so that MoneyGram will, I guess, boost or start using XRP. Now, whatever push MoneyGram still has, I'm not sure. I think MoneyGram is probably big for remittances for foreign workers in different countries sending money back to their home places, but not sure there's a lot of gas left in that tank, but we'll see. That's what Ripple wants to do. They're moving in that direction. Facebook coin. Now, let's get into some of these issues with Facebook coin. There are some concerns that I think this might not even get off the ground. There's a lot of regulatory issues here. There's privacy issues here, and the companies, the partners may be reluctant to actually work with Facebook on this. So there's talk here. According to this CoinDesk article by Lei Kewen, and she's saying, and this is, sources said type of thing, but you could take it for what it's worth. But CoinDesk confirmed Facebook's plan is to connect users' financial information to their personal Facebook profiles. Well, there you go. Remember I talked about this even before the Facebook coin was even mentioned with Rakuten, the Japanese company. I was saying, look, they have a bank. They've got a social media platform. They've got an e-commerce platform. Now, they don't have their own token, but don't give them any ideas. They probably will. But they have Bitcoin and Litecoin. They can trade that and use that, and they can just track that anyway. So they probably don't even need their own token, and they have their own bank and their own card, so you could probably use all your banking services to buy on their e-commerce platform. But according to this article, they want to tie your financial information with your Facebook profile. And of course, that means centralized data that can be hacked. Facebook can have a hack, and now you don't not only lose not only is all of your information available, but now all your financial information is available. I don't see how this is a good thing. I really don't. They're talking about integrating with payment processors like MasterCard and Visa. Maybe putting it on social platforms. And one of the companies said sources compared global coin to Alipay, which allows digital payments across social platform, yet is also associated with Chinese government surveillance. Nice. So I'm not sure why anyone who had any passing knowledge of the structure of what is being proposed would want anything to do with this coin. But I hear people, because they hate Bitcoin, they're like, yo, I'd take a look at it. It's a good idea. They're only saying that because you could tell them that a steaming pile was going to compete with Bitcoin. They'll say, I'll step in that. I'll take that. Anyway, there's a lot of issues there with the partners not necessarily wanting to get involved. They're all going to have different strategic goals according to the article. Also, remember, it's not just Facebook. You got WhatsApp, Instagram. These are all owned by Facebook. And remember, Facebook censors, Facebook deplatforms, Facebook deboosts. You want them to have your money so that they can do the same thing with your money? Yeah, as long as it crushes Bitcoin. Okay. Yeah, it's delicious food, according to Peter Schiff when he's making his analogy. But now here, stable coins are a big deal. They're not going to go away. And here, Circle and Coinbase Open sent their stablecoin network to new members. This is important because stable coins are basically, you could call them derivatives in a sense. I mean, when you have your money in an FDIC account, your money's there, you got $5,000, it's backed. When you have a coin, you have $5,000 in the coin, and presumably, like in Tether and Coinbase or in Circle or in Gemini stable coins, whichever ones you're looking at, they presumably have the $5,000 backing your coin, but those $5,000 are not in FDIC accounts. So these are less stable in a way. What happened? JP Morgan too. JP Morgan's stable coin, they said, will be backed by the cash position that they have. But again, that's not guaranteed, government guaranteed, for whatever that guarantee is worth, but it's not guaranteed. You're basically putting your trust that JP Morgan is going to be a good custodian and make sure that your coin is backed, similarly to Facebook. And with Facebook, it's not going to be based on the dollar. It's going to be based on the dollar, the yen, the yuan, whatever, all the different currencies that they might want to put into the basket there. All right, let's take a look at what some people are thinking about this. Now, I immediately thought that this would be, I would call it SpyCoin, maybe deplatform coin, sucker coin, Zucker coin, Mark of the Beast coin. And the poll came out with Sucker coin was the number one vote. I think here 56%, SpyCoin second, 42%. No one picked Mark of the Beast coin. I think because it says MOTB, they didn't know what it meant. But the big winner in the Twitter poll was Sucker coin. Let's see. No, that was the early results. The final results were SpyCoin was number one at 52%, deplatform coin 5%, and Sucker coin 42%. You could call it Spy Sucker coin, I suppose. Other names that I threw out there but didn't put in the poll were, let's see, Mark of the Beast coin, Shadow Band coin, deplatform coin. What else? Other names here. Shadow Band coin, SDR coin, Zucker coin instead of Sucker coin, Censor coin, that came from a Twitter follower, Honk coin. The reason I say Honk coin is, this is the point here about Facebook. Facebook says using the word honk violates its community standards. So you could be buying something that violates the community standards, they're going to take your money from you. Who knows? If you're blank your horn, you're finished, says Zero Hedge. But, we could call it Honk coin as well, or Zucker coin. All right, so the name that was on Twitter. I think I've got a YouTube for that. No, I'm sorry. The first one was YouTube, not the final. So YouTube thought Sucker coin was the best name, with SpyCoin coming in second, and Twitter thought that SpyCoin was better and Sucker coin was second. I actually prefer SpyCoin to Sucker coin. But let's see what else we have. Okay, now what do you think is going to happen with Facebook coin? So we asked Twitter and we asked YouTube. So Facebook coin will. And 35% think it's going to boost Bitcoin on Twitter. 8% think it'll crush Bitcoin, which I don't think it will. 22% will have no impact on Bitcoin. And 35% say it will fizzle out. I think I voted for fizzle out. And that was even with boost Bitcoin. I don't see how it crushes Bitcoin. A stable coin is different. The only thing that Facebook coin could crush would be all the other stable coins, I believe, or XRP. But Facebook is anything but a stable coin, so I'm not sure why you would think it would crush Bitcoin. Now, over on, this is on YouTube, nearly half thought it would fizzle out. 32% would say no impact on Bitcoin. 8% said crush Bitcoin, and 16% said boost Bitcoin. So between Facebook and Twitter, YouTube and Twitter polls, it looks like 35 to 45% say it'll fizzle out, and then a good number think it'll have no impact. Only 8% in both polls said it would crush Bitcoin. And in this poll on YouTube, only 16% said it would boost Bitcoin, but on the other poll, I think 35% thought it would boost Bitcoin. I don't think it's going to hurt Bitcoin. I think if it boosts Bitcoin, it's just, there is an argument. Yeah, well, you're online and you've gotten comfortable with a cryptocurrency, so maybe you'll buy Bitcoin. Okay, people feel more comfortable that there is that possibility. All right, now I just want to show you, tonight we had a little issue. We've been having issues on YouTube for the past few months. And I had this today. I almost didn't get on today. Something went wrong. So I do advise you to follow Smaulgld on BitChute. I may eventually just move over there. They're going to start live streaming. It's BitChute, Parler, Parler, Gab, Twitter, Facebook, you can forget. I only post there. I don't even respond over there. Steam it. And Minds as well. So Smaulgld. And of course, Smaulgld.com is the best place. You should subscribe there. But I can see YouTube just deciding they don't want private or small content providers. Just not worth their while. They don't have to monitor it. They may get to the point where they end up being deemed a publisher and they'll just publish their own stuff. Who knows? I just don't see it being viable long term in Facebook either. I think that content providers are going to have to move off these platforms, or the platforms are going to have to reorganize themselves in order to avoid being reclassified as publishers, because once they're classified as publishers, they're responsible for everything. If they want to retain their platform status, platform neutral, then they have to kind of let more of a anything goes other than illegal or violations. Yeah, anything other. If something is not illegal and you want to be a platform, you have to allow it. I mean, you can't say, well, that's harm, it hurts somebody's feelings, it's not polite, it's offensive, it's hateful. Well, unless it's illegal, then you're actually imposing your editorial point of view on something, which is what publishers do. Then you're not a platform anymore. So anyway, and then I have these technical issues from time to time on YouTube. So, all right, let's get to your comments and see what you guys are saying. Put up the fundraising page again. If you want to support the channel, you can support through Bitcoin, Litecoin. The QR codes there. They're also, the addresses are on the Smaulgld website. You can buy a Smaulgld mug or a couple and stack them, or you can support Smaulgld by check or sending items of value to Smaulgld LLC, P.O. Box 714, Dover, New Hampshire, 0383821. And also, you can go to the affiliate links if you're interested in buying gold or silver. We have affiliate links with SD Bullion, Money Metals Exchange, and Golden Eagle Coin. You can compare pricing and shipping there. It's not investment advice to buy anything of value, gold or silver, but if you're going to buy, done your research, please consider doing so through those links, because I do get a small commission, and you pay no more, no less than if you visited those sites directly. And you can join Patreon, or you can make a recurring donation on PayPal, or a one-time donation on PayPal, or you can join one of the Smaulgld Mug Stacker Clubs on Subscribestar. I do appreciate all of the support. Let's see what you guys are saying in the comments. SpyCoin, Jeffrey Gotts, Shark Air, Max Strong. Carl Joseph DeMarco is here. He's here for a live show. He's a small crowd tonight. Yeah, the crowds are, the channel started mostly as a real estate channel, moved to gold and silver. I'd say it probably peaked when it was all gold and silver. There are people that are into gold and silver. Some are into just gold. Some are into just silver. Some people are not into cryptocurrencies at all. They're very much against them. I didn't like them. I'm not a big fan of this. I can see where it's heading with the digital ability to track and trace. And however, I do believe that if the world is heading digitally, you're far better off with digital products that are decentralized than you are with something like a Facebook coin. I think Facebook coin is actually what people have been fearing, but they've, due to, I think, ignorance, and I don't mean it in a pejorative way, they've just attached on their fears onto Bitcoin without really understanding it and not realizing that Facebook coin actually meets the real issues, and they're thinking, well, this is how we get rid of Bitcoin. I don't know why that would be a goal, but there are people that think that way. All right, let's see if you got any other questions or comments. Chicago Electric Bicycle is here. Let's see. Why is it? There you go. See, now, he says, I think Facebook coin will eventually overtake Bitcoin. As what? They're two different things. There's no overtaking. Facebook coin is just a medium of exchange. It's a stable coin. Stable coins don't compete with other cryptocurrencies and other tokens. Okay. Let's see. Chicago Electro Buy. I will absolutely buy Facebook coin when it comes out. Well, have fun. Might not ever come out. It's supposed to come out next year. I don't even use Facebook at all, says Carl Joseph DeMarco. Not much use for their coin. Yeah, I don't know why you would want it. There's no benefit in having it. If you can spend your money and buy stuff without it, it doesn't go up, it doesn't go down. Some people are like, I didn't invest in it. There's no investment. It's tied to a basket of currencies. If you want to invest in a basket of currency, you can buy currency funds. They have them. I mean, I don't know why you would want a Facebook coin. Well, that's true. Carl says, isn't this Facebook coin really a desperate attempt to save a dying platform? I don't know. I really don't know. Actually, globally, you see, their reputation is probably worse in the United States. But most of the majority of the users are outside the United States. So they're not. I looked at their financials. They actually grew the last quarter. So they're not really dying. Maybe dying in the U.S. But clearly, this is the same reason that Facebook wants to get on this, that Wall Street wants to get on this. There's a lot of money in this stuff. And I didn't get to all the stories. We'll get to them Friday night on how this actually boosts the Wall Street business, the Silicon Valley business, this cryptocurrency stuff. All right, what else do we have? Let's see. Only looking for comments that have Smaulgld called out. I see a lot of comments, but nothing with Smaulgld. All right, so I'm going to let you all go. Unless you've got comments, further comments, I'm going to turn over to Bernie. He's going to give you the 10-second countdown. To see if there's any further comments. If you want your comment answered, question, or you want to make a comment directly to me, type in SMAULGLD. Otherwise, you only got 10 seconds left, or at least 10 seconds the way Bernie counts them, and then we're going to say goodnight. So, Bernie, what are you doing?
I'm doing good. The thing is that Donald Trump has got to go.
Bernie, you're here to do the countdown, not to editorialize.
Okay, so here's the countdown. There's 10 numbers, and I'm going to count each and every one of them, but the most important one is the 1%. So, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1%, 0. Have a good night.
Thank you, Bernie. Have a good night, and have a good night, Smaulgld, mug stackers, and game changers.